Welcome back to another edition of Fly Tying for Beginners. Today we're going to tie one of my favorite fall streamer patterns, and that is the Royal Coachman traditional. I'm going to use black thread. This is 8/0 70 denier. This is a number 12 streamer hook. Nice small streamer. We're going to attach the thread and put down a base of thread. I especially like this on small streams. The get very vigorous hits on it. We're going to stop the thread where it would hang at the barb. We're going to start with the tail, and we're going to use a golden pheasant tippet. We're going to take just a small clump of the golden pheasant tippet, and I'm going to tie these in just in front of that black bar. So we only have one black bar on the tail. With the a fly this small, the tail would be too long to leave both bars exposed. I'm going to bring that right up to just behind the eye. And leaving all that in there will help to keep the body level. And we'll bring this back. Now the body is going to be chopped up in thirds. The first third is going to be Peacock Herl, and I have a pair of Peacock Herl. And I'm going to leave that tag end the length of the hook shank. I'm going to bring that back to the right to the tail. And then I'm going to wrap all of that in. And that's going to help keep that body level also. We'll bring our thread back to just in front of the point. I'm going to take the Peacock Herl and I'm going to wrap them. And they're coming apart. There we go. I may use up quite a bit of the Peacock Herl. Get a nice full section there. And then tie that off. And we're going to tie this off, and we're going to tie that in up to the front. Once again, keeping our body level, no lumps in it. And then we can break those off. Bring our thread back to the Peacock Herl. Now the middle 1/3 is royal red floss. I'm going to tie that in. And wrap all of that tag end in. We could take our floss and wrap that. I'm going to go a little bit further than needed. I'm going to go back and forward one last time, keeping a nice level area. And then we can bring our thread back and tie that in. And we can trim that off. And the front 1/3 is another pair of Peacock Herl. We're going to tie that in. And we're going to wrap that. I'm going to wrap back on the red on the floss there just a little bit. Yep, let me start that over. There we go. And go back and forth and tie that in. Now that one is a little long. I'm going to go back with my thread and get rid of that excess. Now for the collar, I'm going to use this grizzly dyed red or brown. You can use a Coachman red Hackle. We're going to wrap this right there in place. Whoop. Bring all of the hackle to the one side. And we can achieve that as we're wrapping just simply by pulling the hackles towards the rear. And we'll give it 3 or 4 turns, enough to make a nice semi-full collar there. You may want to add more or less according to your liking. I'm going to remove the excess. I'm going to hold everything back. I'm going to clean that up. And I'm going to wrap back on the hackle just 1 or 2 wraps, just enough to kind of send it towards the rear. And now we're going to use 2 saddle hackle tips for the wing. And I'm going to measure this. I just want that to be just past the tip of the tail. Now I have them trimmed to length and the tips lined up. I'm going to just tie them in. We're tying them in right on top. We got a little bit too long, so I'm going to trim that off. And we'll tie off the head. Take our whip finish. And we'll finish it off with some head cement. And here we have a Royal Coachman streamer. Hope that you learned something from this video. Hope you would subscribe to my channel. Please refer me to your friends. Leave comments, questions, suggestions, and most of all, thank you very much for watching my videos.